Back in 1992, Michigan voters approved an amendment to the state constitution that limits the number of terms a person may serve in various public offices. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the 2014 West Michigan Policy Forum, taped at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel in downtown Grand Rapids. Joining me now is the president of Amway and the immediate past chair of the West Michigan Policy Forum, Doug DeVos. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, happy to be here.
And lots of things being discussed. The three main topics at this year's forum are transportation, also talent, and term limits. How do you come up with the topics? Who decides, and why are these the big issues this year?
Well, we come up with the topics by talking to people around the state. We have part of our group goes to places like Traverse City or Muskegon or Kalamazoo or Saginaw or Midland, and we kind of get out and just have a conversation with business leaders about what are the issues that they're facing and try to bring it back into some bite-sized pieces that we can really dive into here at the Policy Forum. So it really is developed organically throughout the region.
Transportation, talent, certainly we've been hearing a lot about those over the last couple of years, but term limits, that sort of snuck in there. What did you hear? What were business leaders telling you about our current term limits?
Well, a lot of them are talking about very technical issues or things that come up or that have been issues for our state over long periods of time. But the expertise or the subject matter expertise of our legislature sometimes gets lost because people are moving from one position to the next position, or they're not in leadership levels, whether that's heading a committee or somehow in a caucus. And so it becomes very confusing, and so you end up talking to state employees as opposed to elected officials. And it kind of came up through the conversation that, is this what we wanted? We wanted to have term limits, but the way it is playing itself out, is that what we wanted? Are they moving too quickly? Are we losing too much expertise and that historical knowledge base to really guide us in making good decisions for our future? And so that's where it came up.
So the nice thing about the conference, it doesn't sound like you're going into it with necessarily a position.
Correct.
We need to eliminate term limits or we need to not. It's just sort of an overall discussion of, should they be tweaked? Should they be changed? Are they the best for our state right now?
Like anything you do in business, here's what we did, here was our result. Is that what we wanted? Could it be better? Here's what another state did. So we'll look at some other states. We'll look at some different options. How could we achieve, in essence, the same goal of getting people, citizens, to participate as elected officials and having some level of turnover, because you do want that. You do need some fresh perspectives to enter our public policy arenas and our public service arenas. But is there a better way to do it? That's all it is. And so we want to dive into the issue, learn about it, explore it, and then see how important it is. When this is finished, we rank all the issues that we talk about. Is it a huge priority? And then if it is, let's expand the conversation. If it's a lower priority, then maybe we just kind of work on it in a more moderate way.
But in the past, your topics, and in the last policy forum, were discussing right to work, discussing repealing the property taxes, and we did see major change come out of that forum.
Exactly. And so when you get a group together, we want to be driven by the people who are attending here, by the business leaders throughout the state. And when they come together and say, this is important, well, then let's work on it. And that sends a great message to the people of the state and to our elected officials that we've gone through a process, that there's credibility in the process, and it takes us to a place where maybe we should think a little bit more about it and start to take action. Because if we implement something, then we can land it.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, thank you.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Doug DeVos, the president of Amway and the immediate past chair of the West Michigan Policy Forum.